all over the place. Okay. So just to let you know, this is all. I'm only going to say it once because by now you guys. Oh, you can't even hear me, can ya? Gonna ride like the wind, ride like the wind. Okay, so let me move a couple of things around here. Yeah, hang on a second. Okay, so I'm only going to give the intro really once so that we can get right to this. Lord have mercy. Okay, are we good? I think we're good. Okay, so I'm only going to say this once because by now you guys should be getting the feel for what this is. Oh, okay. But it's going to start happening. I'm just going to say rondo allegretto. Okay, rondo allegretto. Okay. Somebody's Italian. Okay, so let's not do that because it's going to go that way. All right, so this is what I wish I'd said. This is a clairaudient and tarot reading where we dive into the unspoken truths between you and your person. Only you know who that person is. This is a unique style where I combine tarot spreads with my clairaudient channeling and specially channeled conversation cards, phrases that I channeled for you that bring their voice to life. Okay, so if I channel dead people, I'm going to tell you that. If I'm not sure, I'm going to let you know that too. Okay, so remember this is a collective reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest behind. So let's begin. I'm going to pull that. I'm going to, pull that. Somebody's got a naughty sense of humor. What you going to pull? Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to pull the Romance Angel. I'm going to get a cue card, and then I'm going to explain the cards as I go. There's going to be 6 cards. The first card will show the past and what happened. The second card is going to show me who they were to you or show you that. The third card is going to be why you're not together. The fourth card is what they couldn't say. And the fifth card, what they wish they'd said. Okay. And it'll be a kind of synopsis until we get to the other point. And the sixth card will be, it's an assumption. Okay. Whether or not you will come back together. If there's a potential of both of you have that potential. Okay, we're surrounded by the holy angels and guides and everything, and only what the Most High wants to come through will. Okay. All right, my hands are clean. The space is clean. It's raining, it's pouring. The old man is snoring. Somebody bumped their head. Be careful with your head. All right. So we're going to go straight into Capricorn. This turned into a 3-part series because there was just so much coming through. And then I'm kind of, I like to take it all. I don't, and anytime I get something, I want to share it. Right. Looks good to me. Okay, Capricorn. Oh. Do I? Oh, no. Oh, okay. All right. Well, there I am with my inability to pick things up. Okay. Wow. Okay. Well, all right. So a wedding is significant. A wedding was significant. We will see what that means. Okay. Okay. So let's get a cue card. Okay. Capricorn, what do they wish they would have said to you? What they wish they would have said to you. Oh, that smells lovely. All right. Okay. All right, that's it. We have, for your relationship situation, trusting outside opinions too much caused conflict. Didn't we see this for a few already? A wedding. Trusting outside opinions too much caused conflict. Okay. All right. I'm getting anabolic steroids, and by the way, anything that I channel beforehand while I'm getting into my groove, it may or may not resonate if you listen to any or all of the others. If you're cross-watching, cross-stitching, whatever you're doing, It may or may not be for you. I've got a very angry person and I've got anabolic steroids. We're going to leave that there. Steroids. Okay, we're going to use Tarot of the Modern Witch to pull the cards. Okay. I feel better when I'm still having resonant energy. So you could be connected to a Sagittarius. A Sagittarius could be important to you. And to clear that out, I'm going to give myself an affirmation. I give myself permission to trust myself and let my intuition guide me. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Jesus. All praise to the Most High who has protected me since birth. I have bumped into a lot of bad people. Okay. Protected every time. Okay. I'm getting something else here before I even go for that. What is that? Sorry about that. Somebody's name is Bella. Now, if I say a name and I don't tell you whether they're dead or alive, I don't know, maybe somebody likes a band, Dead or Alive. Okay, Bella. Bella doesn't have to be a Capricorn. It's like I said, I'm channeling. I'm kind of grabbing the information as it... Wow. Whoa. Okay. We have the Emperor in reverse. The Emperor in reverse is a tyrant. Somebody who... he's not a leader. The Emperor in reverse is awful, 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 awful. Doesn't let people be themselves. Rules with the iron fist. No velvet glove. Okay. Somebody likes Shakespeare. All right. Now, for that first position and the past and what happened, well, that's what happened, right? Between you and your person, and the energy that created the distance was that the Emperor in reverse could be male, female. This is androgynous. Who cares? All right. Okay. That was a tyrannical person, a overbearing person, a person telling everybody what to do. I don't know. If you're watching this, you may or may not have. Okay, and for the second position, who they were to you, that card reveals how they showed up in your life and what role they played in your story. We have the Moon in reverse. So you found out some things about this person, like things that were just lurking beneath the surface. And as time went on in your relationship with this person, male, female, again, it doesn't matter. You discovered secrets about them. Maybe they didn't want to be open with you anyway, and it was like trying to pull them apart, but not as fun as sticky buns. Somebody's got sticky buns. I don't know. Somebody likes cinnamon or cinnamon rolls, monkey bread. Somebody's a monkey. You could have been born in the Chinese year of the monkey. Somebody could be Chinese. Somebody definitely is a monkey. Okay. All right. You could be a Chinese. You could be a Chinese animal sign of any kind. You could be a Capricorn rising. They could have been a Capricorn. Nobody could have been a Capricorn at all. Okay, so this is just, you're going to know who this person is because your job is to focus on them while I focus on the story and what happened, what I pick up from it. Okay, so we know that there was a tyrannical person with too many secrets. For the third card and why you're not together. Wow, because somebody went away. Somebody was quite alone when they went away, or they decided, I'm not taking anything. If this was a divorce, if your ex, okay, if this person, whomever, it could be anybody, but, this is primarily a romance reading. You went away. They could have gone away. We will see, okay? Somebody definitely went away, like a bridge over troubled water. Okay, so somebody was going over troubled waters. Somebody may have crossed an ocean, gone from one side to the other, emotionally or psychologically, really had to do the inner work after some, swords are no joke, people. The swords are difficult. All right, so for card 4, and what they couldn't say as a synopsis of truth they held back, what they couldn't put into words at the time. Holy Spirit, Holy Angels. Wow, okay, so we got 2 of them. And I'm going to use them for each of the positions. We have the Everything is Fine card. Another 10 of Swords in the Tarot of the Modern Witch because there are 2. Okay. And we have the 4 of Pentacles. So what they couldn't say is that they weren't okay. Maybe you weren't okay, but they were acting. Everybody here is acting like they're okay. Excuse me. Everybody here is acting like they're okay. Maybe somebody was choking on their words, couldn't choke on their words, couldn't swallow the words, refused to swallow the words, resulting in the Six of Swords. It wasn't okay. Maybe you guys were together for appearances, but that's not the way to live. You guys don't do that, especially if you have children. Just if you do, just in case, I'm just saying, I'm not advocating that everybody in the world should just up and divorce and screw up the kids, because it is very hard on children. What I am saying, that if you have a relationship that's already a problem, or look, if you are so unhappy that you recognize that you are unhappy, it is best to try to create a Reader's Digest condensed version of that marriage. Somebody could be as old as I am or much older, if you know why Reader's Digest condensed stories and books are a thing. Okay, so Four of Pentacles in reverse for what they wish they'd said. Wow. Okay, so holding on too tight, wanting to release, not releasing. Okay, so this is their unspoken confession, the words they wish you had heard back then. Maybe what they were saying is, I want you to let me go, or I want to let you go, but we're both, I don't know why I get both of you in this, other than, okay, so for the wedding card, we have both y'all right there. So Four of Pentacles is holding on too tight. It's conserving everything. I don't really see any other finance cards going on here. But somebody could have been holding on to every pentacle in order to effect the leaving, or, because I could tell you, and from experience, because obviously at 50, I'm going to be 57 years old soon. So am I? Yeah, I think I am. I never pay attention to that. I don't feel almost 60, but there I am. Am I getting old? Yes, I'm getting old. No, I'm not getting old. Somebody's not old. Maybe somebody was feeling too old fashioned. Somebody's holding on too tight. But what I was going to say about, from experience, you can't just go. Sometimes you can't just go. Even when there aren't children involved, you have to really prepare yourself for what you're going to do. Sometimes, look, if it's dangerous, you got to get out, just figure it out. Sometimes you've got to placate a person and kind of play it cool and play it down so that you can get out safely. But, it's not always as easy as that, right? So somebody's holding on too tight. Somebody was holding on too tight to resources or to something. I'm going to say they were just holding on too tight for the sake of appearances, because really lurking underneath the surface was so much more, that in time you found out you're like, I'm boning out of here, or they boned out of there. Okay, so for your sixth card, and will you come back together? You probably don't want to get back together with this person. I don't ever suggest anybody go back to the past. And if there's a situation or a breach, or they made you number 2, that's your sign. Yep. And with speed. Okay. Don't look. And when there's a breach in the relationship, a breach of trust, somebody's cheated on you, that's your sign. It's like a giant exit. Some people successfully stay married and can repair these things, and great, more power to you. Most of the time, it doesn't work because both parties are, maybe the guilty party is hoping everybody forgets, but, it's very difficult to forget a breach. Okay, a breach in loyalty, a breach in trust. Somebody puts you in danger, puts you in a 10 of swords where you've got to reverse them and get them out of your body. There's no reason to do that because there's plenty of fish in the sea. Somebody used to date on Plenty of Fish. Do you remember that? It's fun to make friends and stuff back in the day before it was as dangerous as it is. Okay. Yeah, I saw that 10 of Wands. Very burdensome. I think it would be a lot of work to come back together with this person if both of you were single, if it was even plausible. We're looking for probabilities here, though, not plausibilities. Okay, so what's the Okay. I'm almost afraid to look. I mean, you're going to do whatever you want to do. You're not hiring me to coach you. I'm just going to coach you because you're listening. Okay, so we have the Sun in reverse. I would say that that's a no, a very likely no, a big no, no. Pink flamingos are significant. I'm glad this isn't riddled with crime, and we've got to figure out, who needs to move to which country to avoid extradition back to the United States. I'm glad that's not you. I shouldn't even say that because I don't want that energy here, because maybe somebody's got to go to Brazil. Maybe you're Brazilian. No, I'm not getting extradition vibes here. Although, you know what? I shouldn't say a word. No, let's not say that. All right. Oh, why am I still going? We're not going to keep going. No, let's not keep going because this is done. You're not going back to this. I know it's easier said than, wow. Okay. Easier said than done. Damn. Okay. Already? Like, look, I'm talking about like hoping that there's no crime and then we get crime popping out. I'm your hacker. There's ways to trace that to see who's doing that to you. Just if you got a friend in IT, if you know IT well enough, or like me, I've got a built-in brother. Like I don't live with my brother, but he helps me watch things in a very synchronistic way. I will have my revenge. So the Emperor reverse was probably micromanaging you, checking all your devices, making sure you weren't doing anything wrong. Because look, if somebody's going to do something wrong, they're just going to do it. There's no sense in you worrying about it. That's why you just like live and let live. Kind of like, how does that go? I was about to use a redneck term. One of you is a redneck right here. Okay. So if you love someone, set them free, or if you love something, set it free. If it comes back to you, it's yours. You know, I'm not saying that that's that almost like giving carte blanche. Okay. But I held back so much from you. I almost want to stick this over here. I want my revenge. Revenge. Somebody's name is Vern. Somebody's name is Laverne. Vern. Okay. I held so much. Wow. Back from you. I want my revenge. So you probably found out that you were being stalked, digitally stalked, hacked, could have been right from within. Maybe you were engaged. You didn't have to be married. Maybe it was going that way or you thought it would, but thank good it didn't. Although look, it's easy to get a divorce. When there's little kids, it's harder. I miss your laughter. Yeah. Once you left, they miss you. How healthy is that? You miss the collective when they left you, when you left them. Who cares? All I care about is watching to make sure that my subject here got away safely. There's plenty of people to meet. You don't even have to date them all. You don't have to do anything like that. Okay, that kind of came right out there. 2 of them. I know I'm caught, so I'm not going to stop right over digital with the woman and the 10 of swords. Your ex could still be hacking you, stalking you. It doesn't matter which reading you're watching. I'm just telling you. Could be trying to hack you, trying to stalk you. You'll see evidence of that. You'll see weird friend requests. There are other anomalies, okay, that I can tell you a little bit about at some point, okay? I can tell you all of the symptoms and then what you do in order to not lose the information, okay, while it's going back and forth. I think you're awesome. Sure. Okay, think you're awesome. What, like while you're a tightwad and don't let people live and micromanage everybody and tell them what to do and don't even let them have an opinion, don't let them have an identity? This sucks. That probably sucked so bad. There's no way. I grew up with a father who was unwell for a very long period of time, and he held on too tightly to my mother, and it was just finally too much, and he squeezed her too hard, and she popped, basically. I planned to set you up for a fall. So look here, Capricorn. So look, may I parse my words, because I'm about to say something I should not say. Maybe I should say it. I don't know. Let me see how I feel about that. So looking at this whole situation, you were in a relationship. It was either a high-level commitment, you were married, you were on the way to get married, or you dreamed of getting married. Maybe you still do. Somebody was trusting too many outside opinions, and you know what narcs do. Narcs will talk to their ex-boyfriend, their ex-girlfriend about their current girlfriend or ex-boyfriend, because it is a subtle manipulation. Basically, it's designed covertly to keep you off balance, okay? I'm not saying that, people shouldn't talk to trusted people, whether it is a professional, even trust that. If you're going to talk to a church counselor instead of a therapist, be careful, because, you might need to come apart, and they try to keep you together, which is very dangerous under, various circumstances, because it's just really going to lead to the same thing. And again, I'm not advocating that everybody needs to get divorced 1,500 times or be Elizabeth Taylor. Maybe you're an actor or an actress. Elizabeth Taylor may be significant to you, or you're from that era, or you recognize that era. Somebody could have blue eyes. Somebody could have violet eyes. Somebody could have double lashes. I'm not talking about the fake kind that makes everybody look like a freaking deer, from something like a wonky set of Snow White. Be careful with that, because people get infections in their eyes all the time. Be careful with all of that. Okay, but we have a situation here where your person is still trying to hack you in the very least. digitally stalk you, hack you. If they ever had access to your, passwords, I suggest that you change them all up all the time. And, we can all get, wow, I didn't mean to do that. Look, they want to say so many damn words. Shut up. Okay, so your ex is a very angry person who wants to and plans to take some kind of revenge out on you. So, sweetheart, no. Because you've got a person who's a manipulator. This is a manipulative person. Maybe you manipulate. I don't know. Everybody manipulates to a degree. Anybody who calls it out and says, so-and-so's a manipulator, they're the manipulator, sweetheart, because nobody brings up manipulation unless they are the manipulator. Take that to the bank. I can tell you that. I didn't have to learn it in a book or from a person. It's just common fucking sense. Okay? Only a manipulator is going to do that. It's kind of like when you have a person who's, being interrogated by the police, and when everybody's just trying to figure out where your wife or husband is, and you immediately say, well, I didn't kill her, if that's what you're wondering. Hey, dude, nobody wondered this. I shouldn't give that psychology away. All right. Because, stupid people fall for it anyway, just like the people that fall for dating over the internet, and they think they're talking to somebody in the Royal Army, and you ain't no Royal Army. But this person thinks you're awesome as long as they can manipulate you. And if you try to come back together with them, I guarantee you that's what they're going to do. They're going to manipulate you. They're going to gaslight you. You're dealing with somebody with heavy narcissistic tendencies. At the very least, serious control issues, which stem from insecurity. Everybody's got little insecurities that say, you've got a beautiful girlfriend or boyfriend, and, they're at a party and everybody's chatting them up. Okay, that's one thing, to be a little bit insecure and to come gently put your arm around that person or bring them a plate of food or something to just kind of, ward those people off, because a normal, healthy person will be like, whoa, okay, I didn't know you were taken. Sometimes people don't care whether you're wearing a ring or not. The ring is for you. It's not for them, because when somebody's going to disrespect that, they just are. Okay, I could wear the thinnest, thin gold band. It's up to me to know what that means. Okay, but when you get a person who's highly controlling and manipulative, they're going to manipulate the whole situation. I guarantee you, they'll accuse you of cheating on every level, or on no level, or on teeny tiny levels. They'll do all of these things. They are the cheater. Don't forget, I'm telling you that. Okay, so moving along to Aquarius. Just be safe, because people are weird. Okay, relationships are not perfect. Okay, they shouldn't be. Why should they? Why should they be? If you find somebody who's too much like you, you're never going to have any interesting conversations. You're never going to, it would be like looking at yourself. Well, the narcissist wants to look at themselves. The narcissist is in love with their appearance. Unlike an actor, the actor's playing a role. They fucking love it. You know what I mean? Because they love acting. That's what they do. They act. That's what they do. They can kiss somebody on screen. Doesn't mean a damn thing. It was a kiss. It was whatever. And if they feel a kind of something, they're like cutting that right off. But this is part of the thing. And a very seasoned actor doesn't feel a damn thing. Okay. They're just like, this is a job. I want the attention. I'm probably a Leo or a Leo rising, hopefully, heavy Leo placements. I don't know. Why are we talking about acting? Maybe you're an actor. Maybe you are a director. All right. Everybody knows how that goes. And there's, nobody wants to get sued. No production company wants to get sued. Nobody really wants anything freaking weird going on like it used to back in the day. Okay. So moving along to Aquarius, who is not a narcissist, and generally maybe a little bit cool to the touch, a little bit cool if they're not as warmed up, but hey, baby, we could warm you up. Okay. So Aquarius. Oh, easy. Aquarius. Ooh, I like that. Worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. Okay, so maybe you were waiting for somebody. Like, that card doesn't have to necessarily represent the persons from the past, okay? That's just another cue card, something interesting, okay? It could relate. It doesn't have to relate. Somebody really used to be fond of C's candies. I don't know, like butterscotch lollipop. Butterscotch lollipop poppy. Somebody is very fond of a butterscotch lollipop and poppy. We used to call my dad Puppy, but that's Papi, puppy. But I'm Cuban. We always have like cute little nicknames. They don't ever make sense, the majority of the time. Like, I've got an aunt who's in heaven and her name was Mercedes. Well, her nickname was Cusa. It's kind of short for Mama Cusa. Somebody want to go to Cuba? Somebody's Cuban. That's a given, right? Okay. Café Bustelo. All right. Panetela borracha, for those of you who are. Plátano frito. Plátano maduro. Okay, so chicharrón, arroz con pollo. Okay, coño. Okay, so the cue card we have is Pisces. I wish I'd been strong enough to match your love. So maybe you were in a relationship with somebody in the past that was a bit too young. Maybe you were both a bit too young. We grow, right? Everybody grows. Everybody changes. Sometimes we are parallel lines and, we remain parallel. Sometimes, things go wrong and sometimes they just don't. Okay. It's okay. It doesn't mean anything for anybody. All right, your past person. I get a very sweet vibe here. I don't get any negative feelings here. Let's see if I'm right. I get very, very calm feelings about this. So maybe you've made complete peace and you're just watching this out of curiosity. Okay, for those of you that are single and really longing, we'll see what kind of a potential there is for you in that. Somebody who still sews patches on their jeans, on their denim. I'm talking about like you developed a hole. Somebody's a farmer. Somebody here works in a garden. They're either farming or they're gardening. Hydrocodone or hydromorphone is significant. Somebody's dog passed away. It was a Cairn Terrier. Some kind of a terrier, Cairn Terrier. Your name could be Terry. Sounds like echo. Somebody goes hiking. Somebody's been to the Swiss Alps. Capricorn. I don't know. What about those investments? I don't understand. Okay. Investment. Somebody doesn't have as much money as that I'm getting tongue-tied with this one. Somebody doesn't have as much money as they were hoping they would by this age, whatever that age means for you at this age. Now, if you're very young, calm down, man. Calm down. Okay? Empress, Ten of Pentacles, and Reverse. Somebody doesn't think that they have enough money for the stage. What do you care? You can make money. You can make a little money. You could work at Taco Bell. You could go to Burger King. What's Tesco? Somebody goes to Tesco? Wait a second. No, I'm an Aquarius. Aquarius, a Capricorn could be significant to you. I went right back into Capricorn. Okay, Aquarius, a Capricorn is very significant to you. Aquarius, you feel like you don't have enough money at this time for what you expect at whatever this age means to you. I don't know what that means. What about that investment? What about that house? What about those pentacles? I'm just going to channel the shit out of this right now because I feel it. So the Cairn Terrier, somebody lost a terrier, somebody lost a dog. A dog is significant. Copper bells. I don't know. Aquarius. Okay, let me get out of the channeling real quick. Do I want to? Do I want to get out of the channeling? Oh boy, yeah, it just feels like something like, I don't want to say right person, wrong time, or wrong time, right person. I don't want to say that. It was just like everything. Sometimes things are just a beautiful blink in time. I get nothing heavy for you here. Definitely a connection to Capricorn because those overlapped for me. There's an overlap. Something's overlapping. Maybe your pentacle, something will overlap. Maybe there's going to be checks overlapping. Maybe it's going to be jobs overlapping. Is somebody looking for a job? Somebody already has a job. Somebody's not looking for a job. I don't know what that is. Red Robin is significant. Aquarius, what make you doing this? Son, your son is significant. A brother is significant. It would be a younger brother. It wouldn't be an older brother. I doubt that. Unless you are the younger brother, I guess I could see that. Okay. Somebody's been reading the Bible quite a lot. Somebody's been studying Bible scriptures on Satan, specifically about the adversary, piece of shit, motherfucker. All right. Well, he's got a job. I don't want to be mean because he's gotten behind me every time I've told him to, and we have a mutual respect in that sense. Okay. He like, trust me, when I say that I have protection everywhere, I have protection everywhere because we respect each other. That's important to somebody. Respecting each other is important to somebody. Maybe in a past relationship, they're just maybe, I don't know. Some of you were just too young. I don't know. You talked to me about being in your 30s. Look, Selena Gomez just got married and look, they're young. But I remember if I would have been in my 30s, I would have felt so mature. Okay. There's a high chair. There's a baby high chair. It's okay. So maybe it could be cleaner. That's not what the issue is. So that high chair, you got to watch it. Somebody's got a strap on the high chair. I don't like that strap on the high chair. It looks to me, if I'm looking at the strap on the high chair, that it would be very easy for that baby. That looks like a baby that could be about 8 months old. Could easily wiggle out or under. There's something wrong with the strap. If I'm the baby sitting there, I feel like it's a strap on my right over my shoulder. I don't know what this is coming from. There's also a tear in the vinyl, tear in the vinyl, tear in the vinyl. That's where bacteria is going to be. Okay, so I don't know. Okay, let's just get into this Capricorn because those, now I'm like really thrown by that. Capricorn is significant and important to you. Jobs, resources, something about the Pentacles not having enough about, not having enough or feeling like, okay, well, I wish I had more at this time in my life. Time in your life is significant. So again, doesn't matter to me if you're very young. Doesn't matter to me if you're very old. You're just feeling like, you know, I should have more of something, more Pentacles. Maybe it's real estate. We saw the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, well, then you could do that. You could plan that. I don't care if you're 75, 85 years old. You want to do that? Plan that. Okay, all right, here we go. That was quite a lot. All right, so for the card in the first position, what happened? Okay, so what happened between you and that person or the person that you are thinking about? Okay, from the past that you want this reading to be. Now, the past could be 24 hours ago. How do I know? Okay, so the energy that created the distance. Okay, what was that? I wanted to come out this way, but for your visual entertainment, I'm going to put it that way. So, you know, everybody makes their choices. It seems like one person in that relationship made a particularly unusual choice. It wasn't the best choice. Maybe it wasn't even their choice. I feel like it's a choice that comes from another fucking dimension. I don't know. Is somebody a Scientologist? I don't know what that is. No hate to yeah, actually, I really don't like Scientology. Not at all. That's some bullshit. Okay. What do you want to go sign a 10 billion year fucking contract? Okay. I'll give you my Cash App. Coach Rita Yanez, drop me $1 million. Okay. Like, all right. People can do whatever they want. Somebody made a decision in the past. Okay. So what they were to you is the second card. Sea Org. Somebody likes the ocean. Somebody likes organization. Somebody likes organizational charts. We're back to the job. Okay. Sea Org doesn't have to be about Scientology. They could kiss my ass. Okay, so we've got the Knight of Cups in reverse. Who they were to you, somebody very young, somebody who offered their best cup of love. It wasn't that they, I don't know. Young could be young in terms of maturity. Let me take my sweater off. You know, this is just somebody that did the best they could. Maybe you did the best you could. That's a water sign. Could be Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Doesn't have to be, but it definitely was an order. Order of the Golden Dawn. Here we go with the Colson. Weird shit, okay? The Rosicrucians. Somebody's familiar with the Rosicrucians. Order of the Golden Dawn. Somebody's a Mason. Comes from the Masons. I come from, there's a Mason, and my family was a master Mason. But in Cuba, before everybody was fucking weird, doing drugs, ending up on ketamine, and like naked in the streets because they're not gangster rappers. They're being taken advantage of. They think that they're going to find the sacrifice. No, baby, you're the sacrifice. Okay, so for the card in the third position, why you're not together, Six of Wands, it just wasn't successful. What I tell you, there's nothing malicious here at all. It just kind of wasn't successful. Somebody made a choice that maybe wasn't the best choice. Maybe they were in outer space or they're going to Mars. Okay. Yep. Okay. So it just wasn't successful. Why that didn't work out? What pulled you apart? The lack of success, because there was nothing really wrong. I don't see anything really wrong. Okay. Now, like I said, relationships could have their bumps and scrapes and, you know, lumps and jumps and whatever. Like I feel like saying, somebody likes Tigger. Bouncy, trouncy, fun. Okay. So the person you were with was a lot of fun. Okay. For the Hanged One, in the fourth position, what they couldn't say, the truth that they held back, what they couldn't put into words at the time. The Hanged One, I don't think there was really anything to say. It almost seems like it quietly fizzled out, and either you or that person was looking at things I think it was the other person was looking at things in a different way, in a different perspective. Maybe she was cool and kind of wore her fishnet stockings up above, like this reminds me, I don't know, they could have been a ballerina. Ballet could be significant. You know how now ballerinas are wearing their tights over their leotards? Completely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Looks like shit. It doesn't look good. Nobody likes this. It's just because people are young and they want to have blue hair or, wear their tights that way. That's fine. Okay, not hating, just stating that's my observation. I'm entitled to my opinion. Maybe you weren't entitled to your opinions on the matter of the opinion that other person affected as a choice. Okay, so for card number 5 and what they wish they'd said, we have the Queen of Wands, and nothing was wrong. Nothing was wrong. The Queen of Wands is very sexy, very dynamic. Could be male or female, doesn't matter. Flip and switch the roles. Switches, and flipping switches. Somebody could be in IT. Somebody remembers what those little switches were that we used to have to push around on the inside when we used to open up and do things to the guts. Okay, so Queen of Wands. Maybe she had a cat. Maybe she wanted to have a cat. Maybe she couldn't have a cat. There was nothing really wrong here. This is really weird. I mean, I'm glad that it's not crazy. Okay, I am very glad that it's not crazy. So let's see for the 6th card. No. Okay, this isn't a situation that there's going to be a coming back together for no reason other than it's quite apparent to me that everybody has moved on in one way or another, made peace with it, kind of like, everybody has, I'm thinking about old timers. Maybe somebody's a gold panner. I'm going to stake a claim, but I did it over here. So everybody kind of went their ways and started their things. Ace of Wands is a potential, a beginning, but it's in the reverse. And, maybe that person went off into some kind of a cult, or I'm not going to say cult. Cult could just be a group. A cult to me could be a belief system, so maybe there was a belief system that was an issue there. So the Ace of Wands holding a wand with the Queen of Wands holding a wand. 6 of Wands holding a wand. Maybe I'm not wrong about the Scientology or about the Rosicrucians or whatever it is that is foreign or just not really wasn't conducive to, ease of, because people can be completely different religions and live in the same house and live in this, I know plenty of people like that. You could have a Catholic and a Jew, no problem. Okay. Because if people are fair, they don't force you to be or do anything. But I'm going to pull a couple other cards because this is just so gentle. I'm so glad for you. And then we're going to see, let's only pull one more card so I don't get too far into this. Yeah. The Star, everybody healed. What am I telling you? I'm telling you exactly that. Everybody healed. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Maybe nothing so terrible happened in a particular relationship. Not anything that impeded your healing. If anyone finds out what I'm doing, my life is over right on top. Okay. So that's for that, maybe the person's family, or maybe they were pressured, you could have a situation where it's like, you got to be a Muslim or we're going to hurt you. Or, if you're not a Catholic, I'm going to kick your ass, so choose your poison there. I have so many questions for you. So that person really was very interested in you, wanted to know all about you, found you fascinating. And then right on top of the 6 of Wands in reverse, now I feel the way you must have felt. Do you get that? That person, I'm taking that as a present. If they could speak to you now in present time and, those feelings, they feel them. They can see things from your perspective now. Very lovely energy. Okay, so we've got my mental illnesses and intellectual disabilities made you pity me at first, but you saw the monster that I really am. That kind of scares me right now. So maybe this person had some deficiencies that were a little bit different, or some different abilities that were impeding the ability to live harmoniously. That could mean somebody was harmoniously. They could have been hormonal. There could have been some issues there that could have been from childhood conditioning. And now, if I speak too fast, remember, you could click that little gear icon. Okay, and you could slow me down. Did I hurt you? Very specifically. That person, he or she, would want to know, did I hurt you? They would not like to have hurt you. And I defended you because it was the right thing to do. Okay, I'm really getting the situation that there was some family involvement, that there was some situation that, it could have involved religion, it could have involved choices, making a choice or being forced literally, like some cultures in some unfortunate ways do. You must do this, you must marry this person, you must be this religion, very, very backwards, very unfortunate, really, really damaging to the human spirit. Okay, that's not what the universe wants for us. Okay. All right. So moving along to Pisces. Hi, Pisces. Oh my gosh. Fish. All right, Pisces, little fish. Let's see what's going on with you. It always gets so lovely toward Aquarius and Pisces. It very rarely, some people say that, Pisces can be a little bit melancholy. Yeah, that's true, but so can't anybody. But if you were a Pisces and, it depends on your placement. I'm a Pisces over my 7th house, so I feel very deeply in relationships and in emotions. And when I was much younger and, kept making the wrong decisions with it, every single person ever, never mind. When you're young, you don't know. And when you feel very deeply, Pisces, you feel very deeply. Do you still feel very deeply about a person from your past? Is that what I'm getting? Do you feel very deeply? Ooh. Pisces, don't be angry about your ex. Emotions are normal and they're healthy, and we have to move through them, work through them, get that energy out of the body. Tai Chi, yoga, any activity, play the piano, do a thing. Okay. But focus, don't escape from them. What am I picking up there, Pisces? What am I picking up there, Pisces? Carl is significant. Robert is significant. Bobby is significant. Oh, we're going to take them both because you guys always wait so patiently because I just do them in the order of operation. Somebody pushes buttons, takes orders, does a thing. Somebody works at Kohl's. I haven't been to that store in a long time. Somebody works at Kohl's. Okay, so let go of control issues. Allow the situation to unfold naturally. And, oh, shit. See, what was I got it. Unrequited love. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. So, okay. So your last relationship, you had to release control. You had to let it go because if you're feeling this way, maybe it wasn't you. Maybe that other person was losing attraction for myriad reasons, and for whatever reasons, we don't know. We're going to try to figure this out for you, okay, Pisces? But let's get a cue card here. All right. Relationship situation. Arguments escalated and caused lasting hurt. So there were some arguments that maybe led to the resentment. Okay, because I'm picking up anger. You have to let things like that go. Say you go to the bar with your roommate and your roommate gets super drunk, calls you an asshole and punches you in the leg. You can't hold on to that forever because they were not in their right mind. And, it means nothing. It doesn't mean that they subconsciously wanted to break your leg or punch you in the head. Okay, because it's, it would be foolish to assume that. I don't know. Was there a drinking issue? Was there a drug issue? Drugs and drinking? Something like that? I don't know. No, I don't get that, and I'm not going to call it until I see it. Okay, so what was this all about? So the first card for the past and what happened. This card will tell us what happened between you and your person and the energy. Ooh, 7 of Swords in reverse. So somebody here was trying to get away with something, was trying to sneak away. That kind of popped out. Somebody was trying to sneak away. Somebody wanted to get away. Maybe somebody was strategic in getting away. Maybe somebody was sneaking around. Maybe had a whole other family or girlfriend and boyfriend, or decided to do that. Because then we move into the second card where, this is where how they appeared in your life. So the person that you were in a relationship seems to have been really focusing on a wand and could have been looking at some new endeavor or really wanted a new beginning because, her back is turned. Doesn't have to be a he, a she, or he, she, he. Okay, it doesn't matter. Jelly beans. Somebody loves Jelly Belly. Okay, so we've got the Seven of Swords in reverse with the Page of Wands. So this person kind of sprung it on you, sprung out of nowhere. This person's like, okay, I want out of here. You know, and it could have been that you did that, but I'm reading it from their perspective. So I do have to lean in that direction, you know, that somebody wanted out. It almost seems like they're just like, I just don't want to be with you anymore. And they almost are like, I'm turning my back on you. And you're like, what the hell? Okay, so there's always more to it, but obviously I wasn't in that house or home or situation or apartment or tent with you. Okay, I don't know. Okay, so for the third card and why you're not together, this is where we're going to see why it didn't work out or what the block was or if there was wounding, what the wound is that pulled you apart or was then at least, but you're still resentful. I don't know what that is. You've got to let go of control issues, or you needed to let them go because they had control issues, or because you didn't love them anymore, because they didn't love you anymore. Flip it and switch it. Purple rain is significant. Okay. Yeah. Because see, card 3, why didn't it work out? Because that person really wanted to just like go start over, go start a new life for whatever reason. I'm not getting the reason. Oh, damn, shit. Okay, like that. I'm going to have to take it, and you know I am. Two of Pentacles in reverse for the fourth card. The truth that they held back. One of you may have been juggling 2 people, 2 projects, 2 things, or wanted to have a different life. She looks like a cute girl here with sandals. And, you know, to me, that's the pulling taffy card. So this person wanted to do something different. That somebody, the person, your ex-person wanted to, you know, because not everybody's cheating. I mean, like, you know, relationships end not always because of cheating. Maybe somebody's like, in this case, I think it's like, I want to start something new. I think I want to pull taffy. I know that's odd. You know, but that's just one of the ways that card, how it speaks to me. Somebody trying to pull taffy, somebody who's going to have to stretch money to do it that way. It's almost like as if they're like, I just want a new beginning and I don't want to be in this. It looks just fine until we get here. Because that person decides, you know, look, one person may have been sneaking around and the other person was like, I'm out of here because nope. No sneaking around. I'm leaving. I'm going toward the sun. I may be really tight with money. And, you know, like money may be tight. It may be difficult for me, but then here comes Page of Swords in reverse. So this could have been a high level commitment, like a marriage or, you know, like a marriage to me, a marriage document, anything like that, especially if I don't see the Hierophant, could just be talking about bad news, like you just got served, or bad news, I just removed myself from the lease agreement, etc. And the reason why it just all goes downhill is like, because I think, I don't know, maybe you were willing to walk away and just go like, okay, happy trails, shake my hand, it's okay, kiss, kiss. And that person was like, fuck you. I mean, like, I really feel it that way. I'm really feeling it that way, that somebody was like, oh, hell no. And then they like fucking brought all hell down. Woo! So maybe you were the one that wanted to walk away. You're like, I'm just leaving now, la, la, la. Let's just, you know, divvy up the dishes and the towels. You know, if you were living together, or maybe it's just like, I think I'm just going to really move on to something different. Maybe start a project, grow a project. Maybe you were the one that wanted to pull the taffy and pull the pentacles and try to make it work, even though if it was going to be harder alone, or you were just like, I'm going to go with alone because this person is very much alone. Maybe you lived in the desert, could live in Nevada. Okay. So that could be the Sahara. Okay. Somewhere hot and dry. All right. So then we get to the Tower. I'm just going to clarify that because I'm not leaving that here. Okay. So clarifying the Tower. These all got a little bit longer than I wanted them to, but they were so much fun. Queen of Pentacles. The Tower to the Queen of Pentacles. What's that? Oh. Okay. So the Tower, will they come back to you for the 6th card is no. Okay. That's no. That's no, that there will never be a successful reuniting with this person. Like, I'm not going to say trigger warning because you already know this. Okay, we're all grown-ups here, okay? And the reason why it's a no is because that person, I know it's the same person, or you went on to become the Queen of Pentacles and to try to start a new life, and apparently it worked out. Little rabbit there. We've got mountains. We've got Rose is growing. Somebody's name could be Rose. Somebody's name could start with R. You know, the rabbit R, rabbit R. Okay, somebody could be African American. Doesn't have to be. Okay, I'm going to pull another one. because, you only you know who you are here in this story. What about the Queen of Pentacles? Yeah, she says no. Well, okay, I could read this a couple of ways. So the Queen of Pentacles could be saying no, but I didn't ask that, didn't I? No, I did not. The Ace of Swords in reverse is almost like not truth. Something, oh, look at that right on the bottom. Something's not true. So I said that she's happy. She went. So maybe if that's them or, whoever you are in this role, you went on to do it. But with the Ace of Swords in reverse, if I ask, are you happy? Is everything okay? No, it's not quite okay. I don't think you really wanted to walk away like la-di-da, no big deal. I'm going to play Chinese jacks. Somebody's name could be Jack. Somebody's name could start with a J. But in this situation, I think it's more, I could look at this in a couple of different ways. I could look at this like that man went on to meet somebody. I just said man. Okay, so I'm going to phrase it that way and leave it that way for now. So that man went to create that disaster, created the disaster. And this could be that you just were like, fuck it, this is my sort of truth. I don't care what you think about this. Or that man could have gone on to meet somebody else, and that could be you. Or you could be the Queen of Pentacles, and marriage could be in the cards. So let's read what these cards mean. Let's get some messages. What would they like to say to you? I'm almost afraid, okay, to tell you the truth. Oh, Lord, you feel sick in a sacred space. So when you were in a relationship with this person, maybe they felt sick or you felt sick. There was something about the home that was sickening, or something was wrong in that home. Felt sick in a sacred space. You guys could, I'm going to say a large swath of you definitely were living together at least. Maybe your ex went on to get married to somebody and they're not happy. That's okay. So your ex went on to marry somebody and they're not happy. Ace of Swords, even though that's in the reverse. I'm using the context previously. Okay. So, and the Page of Wands. I see your aura shift into scales. Somebody wanted to go to the water. Somebody wanted to go to the ocean. Maybe somebody's from the water or the ocean, is an oceanographer. Could be from Atlantis for all I know. So maybe you were looking to set your sights on going somewhere else, maybe going to an island, maybe crossing an ocean. Maybe you wanted to travel with that wand. I want to make peace with you. So your ex wants to make peace with you, or you want to make peace with them. I think that's coming from you. Like you're saying, just be at peace. I'm facing the most serious legal consequences of my life. Lord, okay, there could be somebody facing legal consequences. Legal consequences are legal consequences. It's very difficult to water them down or ameliorate that statement. All right. So they're having some kind of legal complication. There's something going on. Or maybe at the time, what they wish they could have said is, hey man, I'm pissed off and I'm going to blow this joint up because okay, so maybe if this was a divorce, they were facing the legal complications and to them, that was the worst thing that could ever happen. I'm not a people pleaser anymore. So your ex has wanted to tell you that they didn't want to be a people pleaser. Maybe they're not a people pleaser. Okay, so they're not a people pleaser anymore. All right. And for the Tower, coins keep appearing in strange places. Okay, so I'm going to get another one for the Hierophant. I banished you once and failed. I think that's a banishment for you, that you were like, boy, I tried to get rid of you, but here Rita is pulling this reading about you. My family is involved in things you can't understand. I think that that's more simple than just saying some kind of weird magic or something gross or bad. I think that this is like their family was over involved, or they were, natural to cling to your family and support system if they're healthy and intelligent. You make me feel vindictive. All right. Okay. So look, no. So this person has moved on, or you have moved on because somebody's married or got married. If it's them, are they happy? No, they want the Queen of Pentacles. They're still vindictive. They're still angry. People are only still angry if they still have feelings for another person. Do you see what I'm saying? If a person is angry at you, if they still want revenge and they're feeling vindictive or doing things to you, please don't take this as a compliment or as something positive. It's because they're still in love with you, but it isn't love. It's obsession. It's possession. They want to either obsess, like maybe they only want to hold you long enough to crush your spirit or to crumple you. I don't, your ex may have something going on in his mind. I keep saying him. I think I'm talking about a him. So that lets me know that maybe there isn't so much wrong with the person that he's with if she's a female or whatever. Like, pick a flavor. I really don't care. I'm really feeling... I'm going to have to do one more thing here for you. I'm going to do one more thing because I keep getting this him, this male energy. Okay, where are we going to go with this? Oh, I know. Where is it? Oh, okay. Let me just get an omen, and then I'm just going to interpret the omen. Why is this person still so mad at you? This is a male. Or if you're a male, you're still angry. Don't be angry, Pisces. I doubt it's you, but it could be, right? How could I know? I can't know. Mushroom. Disappointments you're experiencing for a reason you're learning gracefully. Oh, they're going to pop out. Tree, spiritual growth and rebirth. Horn, prosperity, money coming in from an unexpected source. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there so that I don't have too much to try to transcribe here. Somebody could be trans. Somebody could have been having that issue. Okay, mushroom. Somebody could have been on drugs. Tree, spiritual growth. I think, okay, so nobody... This isn't about mushrooms, is it? Although mushrooms could be significant to you. Tree, spiritual growth and rebirth, horn, prosperity. Okay, so this is what I'm really feeling about. If you're healthy and whole and you either walked away and released this person regardless of how it turned out, or just walked away regardless of who did whatever, you recognize that it was going to be difficult and, that you would have to move through it because what you wanted was some kind of a new life, a rebirth, whether spiritual or in the physical. We did have the wand, so in the physical, right? Some new, something good, something different, something changing. And with the horn, you may have been financially assisted at the time if you were having a difficult time with that. But I'm also going to take it as far as to say that if you've been struggling financially, I know what those cards mean for me, that there is some good fortune coming for you and Pisces, and you could be Cancer, Scorpio, or a Pisces water sign. I see better times ahead for you. If this is very recent, I'm very sorry. Okay. Take good care. We're going to do it again real soon. Love you guys.